Betty the Bat. A tale of friendship beyond stereotypes. Once upon a time, in a dense, magical forest, lived a little bat named Betty. Betty was different from the bats everyone talked about in scary stories. She and her family loved to sip nectar from flowers and munch on juicy fruits. They were gentle, kind, and loved the quiet of the night. However, Betty had a problem. She couldn't find any friends. The animals in the forest were afraid of her. They believed in the old tales of bats being evil vampires, spreading fear and danger. Whenever Betty tried to approach them, they would run away or shout mean things. Every evening, Betty watched from her favorite tree as the other animals played together, laughing and having fun. She longed to join them, but the fear of rejection held her back. The more she tried, the more alone she felt. One night, while Betty was flying around looking for flowers, she heard a soft cry for help. She followed the sound and saw a young rabbit named Rosie stuck in a thorny bush. Rosie's soft fur was caught in the thorns, and she couldn't move. Betty knew this was her chance to show her true nature. Without hesitation, Betty swooped down and gently nibbled at the thorns, careful not to hurt Rosie. She used her tiny claws to pull away the sharp branches, freeing the frightened rabbit. "Thank you," Rosie said, her eyes wide with surprise and relief. "You're not like the stories say. You're kind and gentle." Betty smiled, her heart warming. "Those stories aren't true. We bats are just like everyone else. We love flowers and fruits, not blood. We want to be friends, too." Rosie felt ashamed of believing the old stories without knowing the truth. "I'm sorry for judging you, Betty. Let me introduce you to my friends. They need to know the real you." The next day, Rosie gathered all the animals and told them about how Betty had saved her. At first, they were skeptical. The squirrels chattered nervously, the deer stamped their hooves, and the birds fluttered their wings in uncertainty. But Rosie insisted they give Betty a chance. Betty shyly approached, her heart pounding like a drum in her tiny chest. She took a deep breath and spoke softly. "I know you're scared of me because of the stories, but those stories aren't true. My family and I are gentle creatures. We only want to be friends." The animals whispered among themselves, glancing at Betty with a mix of curiosity and fear. Then, the wise old owl, who had seen many things in his long life, hooted from his perch high above, "We should judge Betty by her actions, not by stories." Encouraged by the owl's wisdom, the animals began to approach Betty. The hedgehogs asked about her favorite flowers, the foxes wanted to know what fruits she liked best, and the birds were curious about her nighttime adventures. Betty answered all their questions with a smile, sharing stories of her nights spent flying among the stars, sipping sweet nectar from moonlit blossoms, and enjoying the taste of ripe, juicy fruits. She told them how bats helped pollinate flowers and spread seeds, contributing to the health and beauty of the forest. As the days passed, Betty's circle of friends grew. She played hide-and-seek with the rabbits, raced through the trees with the squirrels, and sang songs with the birds. She even helped the wise old owl gather knowledge about the forest's plants and animals. The forest, once divided by fear and misunderstanding, became a place of harmony and acceptance. The animals learned to look beyond appearances and stories, realizing that everyone had something valuable to offer. One sunny afternoon, the animals gathered for a grand feast to celebrate their newfound friendship. They decorated the clearing with flowers and colorful leaves, and everyone brought their favorite fruits and nuts to share. Betty, perched on a branch above, looked down at her friends with joy. She felt a warm glow of happiness, knowing she was no longer alone. She had shown them the power of truth, trust, and friendship. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle, the wise old owl spoke once more. "Let this feast be a reminder to us all. We must always seek the truth and be willing to trust and befriend those who are different from us. For it is in our diversity that we find strength and beauty. And so, Betty the Bat and her friends lived happily ever after, their hearts united by the bonds of friendship and the lesson that had changed their lives forever.